All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Black Eagle Darton Pro-Am here in Fort Benning, Georgia. Senior Known Pro is our next division up here. Nathan Brooks, what are we looking at?
Well, this is a little tighter race. So we've got 10-point spread from top to bottom. Randy Morocco sitting there at the top at 432, always going to be at the top. Randy is a fantastic shooter, great dot shooter, obviously playing this game really well. We got Stacy Yoke at 428, only 4 points behind. He had the high score yesterday and just obviously still shooting really good, really strong. And then there's Mr. Tim Gillingham, who is always a competitor regardless what class, known, unknown, spots, 3D, Buckmasters, whatever you want to do. If it's archery, Gillingham is going to be a competitor at 424, so he's 8 points back. Rob Morgan, always there as well. Like these guys, it's just like you know there's going to be guys that's going to do it every time, and Rob's going to be one of those guys as well at 423, and Kevin Beach rounds out the top 5 there at 422. So this should be a pretty good shootout.
All right, we are looking forward to it. So we want to bring out our archers. Stephen Altizer, bring him out.
All right, guys, next up, your Senior Known Pro coming from Dry Ridge, Kentucky in 5th place, Kevin Beach, shooting for Darton Archery. Your 4th place competitor from Billings, Montana is Rob Morgan, shooting for Hoyt Archery, 423. 3rd place from Provo, Utah, the 424, shooting for Bowtech, Tim Gillingham. 2nd place from New Hill, North Carolina, with a 428, Stacy Yoke, shooting for Elite Archery. Your number 1 competitor, the 432 from Austin Town, Ohio, shooting for Matthews, Randy Morocco.
All right, Nathan, of course, Randy Morocco, he was our winner in this class in Foley, Alabama, so he's got 1 under his belt already, and that puts him on quite a streak because he only entered 4 tournaments last year, and he won all 4 in Senior Known 50. This year it became a pro class. Now he wins. Well, I'm not giving it to him yet. He won the first one, sitting in first for the second one.
My math is not the best in the world, but I'm thinking that's what they call batting 1,000.
Absolutely. There's a good look at Rob Morgan from Billings, Montana. As you mentioned, you know, in the target archery world, Rob's always out there. He's always going to be in the mix.
There's been a lot of great archers come from that Montana area up there, and most of them has had something to do with his archery shop.
Yes, exactly. His son Tate Morgan, of course, shoots in the Known Pro division. Quite accomplished as well. Ooh. And we got a little low shot there. So
I believe that
Randy,
was Rob.
Yeah, that was Rob on the antelope, which is the farthest target, 50 yards. Randy's up first on target 1. He's shooting that boar, which is 43 yards. Boom, 12.
He did
right
call
there.
an upper. Yeah. He's got the cone out in front. So what these archers have to do when they call that upper 12, I may have mentioned it earlier, but they have to place that cone out in the front where they're shooting. So everyone knows that they're actually shooting for that upper 12. So it has to be called.
And he did. So we got a 444. He's not sitting on his laurels there. He's going to make him work for it. Stacy Yoke is on the 2nd target, which is the 27-yard deer. That is the closest target.
With a 10.
So 438 for Stacy Yoke. 10 there. Remember that center circle only counts as a 10.
Mr. Gillingham.
Gillingham, black buck.
It's a 32-yard target.
And he did call upper. All right. And Tim said he had a struggle just to get here. He battled today. He was having problems all weekend long, so he dug deep, as he does. I mean, I say he battled. He may not have.
Well, when you have expectations and you've done as well as what Tim has in archery, your battle is still fantastic compared to most people's ability.
Exactly. 5 for Rob Morgan there on that antelope, and Kevin Beach is our number 5 qualifier. He's shooting that Wolverine, 39 yards. Sound like he took a 10. So
432.
432. So a little adjustment there.
Got a little bit of movement too
Yeah.
amongst these guys. So now we have a little bit more of a range. We had 10 points separating them to begin with, and now it looks like we're at about 16 points from top to bottom.
Yeah. Kevin Beach flopped over Rob Morgan to take the number 4 spot.
Well, you know, Rob started out with a 423. The good thing is, I'm trying to find the positive thing in shooting a 5.
Yeah.
Now his number is even, so no one knows he shot a 5.
That's right. Hey, always look for that sunshine, right, Nathan?
That's
Come on.
right. I mean, if you've got nothing else to say about it, like, hey, nobody knows I shot a 5 now, except it was on video.
Well, yeah.
But look, I can tell you right now, there's only 4 other people out here that's not wishing they were in Rob's shoes.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Because he's out there getting to shoot where everybody else is watching.
Looks like Rob's just ticking a little bit low. That could be his numbers. That could be dipping. It is gusty, breezy. We're right here on the bank. I mean, the Chattahoochee River. If you go over the fence behind these targets, you're falling in the river.
Yeah, and it is windy. You know, we're shielded. The wind is actually hitting us right at our back.
Yeah.
And we have this tent basically that's covering us. So there's a 10.
That's Kevin Beach. So that's going to move him to 442. All right, let's get this score here, and then we got some information for you. That's a 10 for Randy Morocco, moves him to 454. So, folks at home there, you're just joining us here. Our satellite truck that broadcast for us was in an accident, so it just got here, and now the broadcast has picked up. We have been recording, so you will be able to see Women's Known Pro and the beginning of this shoot down. You will be able to see it, you know, later tonight and certainly after tomorrow. You'll be able to watch the full video, but we're just coming up now. You're joining us live. We appreciate it. And that's the explanation of why you're coming in and they're already shooting.
Stacy Yoke there hit a 12 on that that black buck. We're moving on to Tim Gillingham there with a 10 on the antelope. It moves him to 446.
And for Rob Morgan, currently sitting at 428 with 19 bonus rings.
Yeah, we had to start promptly at 4 p.m., but like I said, accidents do happen.
That's
Nathan.
right.
This is live TV, so it waits for no one.
That's right. That's right.
12.
Good shot there by Rob.
Yeah, that was there's a connector line there, and it looks funny, like, oh, it's out there, but that connector line, it does make things a little bit bigger. All you got to do is touch that line.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't understand about the way 3D archery is scored, yes, they're rings, but they're not perfect circle rings. You'd say, well, that's not what I see. But you have to understand the actual scoring behind it. The 12s actually have what we call a 90-degree rule, that where it touches the 10 line, you would typically have a perfect circle, but where it touches the 10 line, it actually drops down and creates like this, in engineering terms, it's a boss, basically.
Yeah.
That comes off of the circle. So that sometimes is a little bit confusing for people when they see it.
And the targets are foam. It's pliable. They can stretch it out. All that arrow has to do is touch anywhere. And what these judges are doing, they've told us, is that, boy, there's got to be clear evidence that it's not in for them not to give them the points, because you don't want to take anything away from them.
Right, absolutely. I mean, and the point of that is, some people will say, well, it's got to be touching the line. That's exactly right. But this is not. This is you're in until you're proven out.
Right. It's not. Oh, wow. That definitely is in.
That's
no question.
It's a big arrow too, right in the middle of that 12 ring.
There's a good look at Rob Morgan on that bore.
He smoked that lower 12.
It sure looks like he did.
That's a that is a dark target to see, to be able to hit the 12 ring. So another thing, just a point to bring up here is a nice 12 on that. Another point to bring up is how hard it is to actually see these rings. Most of these guys don't know, they can't see the ring. They're just aiming in the area where they think it's at. Now, some of them have a big enough power in their lenses to be able to see them sometimes if the sun is right, but for the most part, it's referencing something that you see on the target, maybe a light or a dark spot, and you're aiming off of that spot to execute your shot. So
that was an 8 for Kevin Beach on that last target. Now we're back to our leader, Randy Morocco, on the black book. He takes a 10.
Should move him to 464.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point, Nathan. And we don't like to pick on the old guys, but hey, senior class is 50 and over, and let's face it, when you get to that age, you don't see too good. I can promise you that. I am in that class. Not in that class. I'm in that age class. I'm not in their class.
Well, we see it sometimes, even on camera. You'll see a guy take his binoculars and he'll turn it around backwards, and he's looking at his sight tape.
I do that. Guilty.
So if anyone's ever had a pair of binoculars and you turn them around backwards, you know it is like a magnifying glass if you get up real close. So.
Yes, perfect 12 there for the hammer. Tim Gillingham, 458.
So this kind of, these conditions are what Gillingham just really shines in, which any archer he does well. But this type of windy situation where he shoots on command, he triggers his release. He's not waiting on the shot to, as we say, break, to go off.
Right.
He controls it. Yeah, there. Yeah.
Sorry, we got to look at the reverse there.
Right.
But yes, Tim, I mean, he's from Utah. The wind's blowing there every day pretty much.
Yeah, so he's extremely good in these situations. Not that the other guys aren't either, but we've just seen him have a lot of success. Matter of fact, I've heard him tell me, I hope the wind blows like crazy. So...
Yes, he would wish that on other people. Tim Gillingham, one of the hardest working folks in archery.
So Randy is actually shooting a thumb button release.
Yep.
I don't know that he actually commands it, and I don't know that he squeezes it. By the looks of that shot, it looks like he is a squeezer, because it kind of gave him a surprise when it fired, and that would be... I mean, that's what an archer would look like when they fire it if they're squeezing it, as opposed to someone that triggers the release. Look at Tim. The reactions by Tim Gillingham are always awesome. You usually don't even have to look at the target to know where his arrow's at.
Yeah. I'm guessing he called upper there because they gave him a 10 on that. 468. So we're going to move on to... Oh, that was the first target, so...
I can assure you the cameraman did not set these targets in that ballpark. Hey.
Rob Morgan takes an 8 on that deer, which is 27 yards. Looks like he was trying for that 14.
Yeah, that's a good one to go for. I mean, unfortunately, the wind was really blowing hard when they shot that shot.
Yes. All right, next up, Kevin Beach.
That's close.
He took a big old gust there, too.
10 for Kevin Beach.
10. There was a good look at, I mean, that was clearly all the way outside the line, but it was touching, and that's all it needs to do.
Right. Yeah, these guys, the luck of the draw is a big, I hate to say it, but it is a big part in this because, Rob drew the shortest target with the wind howling.
Yeah.
whereas another guy might actually draw that target in the wind and not be howling.
Yeah.
So you have, it is a little bit luck of the draw, but that's the game we play. We all know that.
All right, Nathan, so there is a 10 for Stacy Yoke, and I got to say this. Stacy Yoke, for a living, I don't think I will ever say this in an archery competition again. He tunes classical pianos. That's his job.
That's awesome.
And I wanted to go through a list of names, and he was like, you name them, if they play a piano, he's tuned it for them.
That's amazing.
You never know who you're going to meet in archery out here, but I thought that was great.
Billy Joel, maybe.
He mentioned Elton John. We went down through this. Bruce Hornsby. He just mentioned all kinds of folks, and mainly classical pianos, he said, but he has done some more well-known names.
Interesting.
But just, you never know who you're going to meet in archery. All right, so let's run down here. We got 474, Randy Morocco in the lead. Stacy Yoke, 470 in second. Tim Gillingham, 468. And then we've got a tie between Rob Morgan and Kevin Beach at 460.
So,
Good
looking at
looking
these
Randy.
scores, I got a good feeling we're going to go to a sixth and final arrow with
Sure
this one,
looks
because
like
this is target number 5.
Yes.
Wind's picking up again. Look at the trees in the background there.
That's Rob's son, Tate, holding the umbrella for him right there. He went for that 14. Oh, I think he's just low.
So close.
Randy's kind of waiting out that wind. They have a minute, we should say. There is a shot clock out there, so he can take every bit of that minute to shoot. But he's pushing it down.
Oh, that did not take long. When,
No,
when
and
that one got there, it went.
I'm going to guess he called upper.
If he didn't,
Randy
he's wishing he
Morocco.
had.
He's
it.
wishing he had. I'm going to guess that he did. But first up on the boar.
Kevin. No, sorry, Stacy.
Stacy Yoke gets 10 there. 480. Next up, Tim Gillingham.
He was shaking his head, so I don't know if he got this one or not.
He did go for the 14.
Ooh, that's close. It pulling hard.
Boy. He's got a big, heavy arrow that's going to pull as much as possible. Nope, that's an 8 for Tim Gillingham. Just low.
He knew he was going to try for it, though.
Absolutely. Tim, if he's not first, if he ain't first, you're last. That's Tim Gillingham. All right, Rob Morgan next.
8.
468. So, got to see what Randy did here, but everybody. No, we are going to drop some archers here. I think we're going to drop Rob and Kevin for that 6th arrow. There's an 8. Kevin.
So Rob and Kevin are both going to finish at 468. Looks like Rob's going to have the benefit of the 12 count.
Okay.
So he'll finish 4th.
Gotcha.
And looks like Randy, Stacy, and Tim will go on to one final arrow.
Yes, thanks for explaining that, Nathan. So the bonus rings is what separates ties. And
so the thing about that was, said earlier that Rob had the 5, had the odd number, and then he shot another 5 that made it back even again. So obviously, if he shot 2 5s on the weekend, he had a lot of 12s to be able to make it into this shoot-off. So.
yeah, so he will take 4th, and Kevin Beach take 5th. Congratulations to both of those guys. This was both of their first time in the shoot-down. Again, this senior known pro again is a new class for the ASA this year. This is only the 2nd tournament. So both of those men were in their first shoot-down. Congratulations to them.
Kevin from Montana, Kentucky, and there are a lot of great shooters in Kentucky, and I think a lot of that has to do with, I mean, obviously he's in the senior division, but a lot of it has to do with a NAS program.
Right.
Because the
National Archery in the Schools program.
That started in Kentucky, and it's been going on for a long time, and basically what that involves is the schools are introducing children to archery, and we are seeing a very big influx of archers coming from the state of Kentucky, and I know that's the reason why.
All right, so our field is set here now for our 6th arrow. It looks like they're going to shoot at the black buck. And our director of judges, Scott Parrott, has moved him up in front of the line. We don't know the distance. They do. They can use their rangefinders. But he just changed the shooting position a little bit, give him something a little different to look at. Oh, no, I see the turkey out there. That is the last chance archery, last chance arrow. So they are shooting at that turkey there. I missed that. And it's in the dark. That's why I missed it. Look at those shadows.
Right. So it is brighter than what it looks like to us.
Yes.
But it's still pretty dark. Judging from the side distance here, it doesn't look like a really long shot. So I expect him to shoot it to 14 here regardless.
Sure.
He's got 3rd place wrapped up. So he's going to shoot it to 14 and at least try and make Stacy work for 2nd. But it's really difficult to see that up there, let alone aim in this wind. It's a pretty rare letdown for Tim.
Boy, if he'd have held on to it, the wind was down while he was drawn. And now it's picked back up again. But he's got Kyle Douglas sitting there using that umbrella to block some of it.
And I'm pretty sure he's got some sort of USB cord plugged in there for phone reception too. If you notice, he's got quite a few bars coming off there.
I wonder if he has the baseball game, if he can get that.
Looky there.
Oh,
14.
There he goes. That's why Tim Gillingham is Tim Gillingham.
That's right. and we can laugh about the bars all we want.
All we
know
want.
What? We're sitting over here, and he's out there.
He's out there. That's going to take him to 490.
Such a good archer.
He's fun to watch. We have fun joking around with Tim, but, I mean, this man lives archery. Lives it. And he'll talk to anybody about it. Just so generous with his time, and he can back it up.
Absolutely. He's a good sport about things too. I may know someone who wrote a song, kind of a little parody song about him once upon a time.
Yes, check out Competition Archery Media's YouTube if you want to hear the song about Tim Gillingham by our own Nathan Brooks.
He's such a good guy.
All right, Stacy Yoke up now. Now he needs a 10 at least to tie Tim. Bonus ring would help. Did he call?
He called upper.
He did call upper. All right. He got it.
Got it.
Yep, there you go.
Come by the Elite trailer a little earlier today, and we were talking about him in that bow, and he said he just has such a good feeling with that bow. He says it's so easy for him to shoot.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things like what we was talking about earlier with the transition that Madison made over to Darton with shooting the bow and how well she just kind of seamlessly moved into it. And he said the same thing about that one. Just
that's the elite verdict.
Yes.
Yeah, new target bow. Yeah. All right, so here's the man, Randy Morocco. Basically, he at least needs an 8. A 5 won't help him.
I don't know if that's a 36 or a 40. I think that's a TRX 40.
Yeah, I think it's the 40 he shoots.
Great shot.
There you go.
Smoked it. Now, he did not call the upper.
He didn't need to.
But all he needed was a 10.
Just needed a 10. So that's going to be a 496. So Randy Morocco is going to take the title, second in a row for him. Stacy Yoke, 492, and Tim Gillingham at 490 is going to be our podium.
So they'll come over here behind the big screen. We'll do their awards. We're going to start with the women's.
So Randy's going to come over here. We'll get a quick word for him. And Randy Morocco is definitely one of the nice guys in archery. There's all good guys, but
there's a lot of good ones. But yes, Randy is top notch for sure.
So there he goes. He's got the headset on there. Randy Morocco, 2 in a row. How does that feel?
It's amazing. It's beyond belief, but at the same time, you work really, really hard. You keep on fighting. This weekend was very, very difficult. It was a long course. It was a tough course. There were times where I thought I was going to be out of it, but you just have to keep on fighting. You have to keep on shooting. You have to keep on believing that you're going to catch up, and eventually I did today. And I have, made the best of this course here, shot a few 12s, and even with the wind, and it just felt really, really great. So, and it's just blessed to have 3 wins in a row here, and indoor nationals and Foley, and what can I say? It's just it's marvelous. It's wonderful.
Yeah, congratulations, Randy. I noticed we were watching you shoot, and just wondering real quickly, with this wind the way it is, are you trying to command that shot? Are you trying to squeeze that shot? How are you getting that shot to go?
On the Wolverine, I kind of closed my eyes and punched it, and really just looked down, and it was right in the 12. And usually with the wind, I'll just try to pull through it just like normal. But sometimes the gust comes and you're running out of time. You got to get that arrow moving.
Well, it worked really, really good. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Appreciate it,
Randy.
Thank you.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We will be back here at Fort Benning, Georgia. Next up, we're going to have Women's Pro.